Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Another week come and gone, and time to finish it up with a little bit of a chit chat. And today I got my good friend Sableagle with me. Ha 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 ha! How you doing, Sable?
Doing well, mostly.
Good, 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 good health.
Yeah, I had one of those weeks
One of those weeks, eh?
where
For me, it's like
I
every week is one of those weeks.
I had a hospital appointment to go and actually find out whether I'm in good health.
Oh, really?
So I had my phone and the computer both acting as alarm clocks to make sure I'd get up in time. So of course I couldn't get
Mm,
to sleep. So
hmm Are you still fighting that reaction you had?
that's what I'm trying to find out about.
Ah.
I got this letter through the post saying we have an appointment for you, and this the date and the time. Like, the hell? An appointment for what? Oh, right. Yeah, I remember. It's been a while. Yeah, I do still have
Yeah.
that problem. I should get to that appointment.
Yeah, you
So
probably should.
yeah, night before, set both alarms, went to bed,
Hmm
wide awake. Gotta go to sleep. Wide awake.
Oh.
Eventually got up, went and had a glass of water, and looked at the microwave. It says it's 5 in the morning. Oh yeah, this is gonna go well. Eventually got to sleep. I was having a beautiful dream. It started off kind of weird and crappy, but then I was introducing myself to this charming young
Yeah.
lady. Turns out she has the same name as me, which is possible. We were getting along really well, and just started getting along really well, and both bloody alarm clocks went off. It's time to get up and go to the hospital. So I get up, have a cup of tea. I get on the bike and I cycle an hour to the hospital. Well, it's not quite an hour. I'm a bit faster than Google thinks.
Hmm.
Find a place to
How
park
far
up,
is
lock
it?
the bike up, get round to the entrance, find the correct entrance, which takes a while.
Mhm.
Because, of course, the maps, including the map on the hospital site, just links to Google Maps, which just says the hospital is here. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I know where the damn hospital is. Where's this particular entrance to the hospital? It doesn't tell you. But I eventually find the right place, show them the letter, and I'm sitting there. Then the guy comes back to me about 5 minutes later and says, "You should have had another letter. This appointment has been rescheduled for November."
Oh, jeez. Well, thanks
So I
for
cycle
telling me.
most of an hour back. It's
Oh, man. How far is it to cycle?
about 10 miles. It's no big deal.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad in this weather. It would kind of hurt in Vietnam in June.
Yeah. Oh, gee, yeah.
But,
Yeah, that'll be no fun. You're going to lose about 10 pounds just in fluids.
where's that camera on? That camera is pointing at a whole load of pear tree seedlings that did not make it. Let me just.
Ooh. So these are your plants.
These were pear tree seedlings, and every single one of those ones you could see there died. But across there, I have an interesting discovery
Hmm.
that all of this stuff is avocado seedlings. Obviously,
Hmm
I am not about to grow my own avocado pears, but they wilt if the soil starts to dry out, which is a real problem for anyone who's trying to grow avocados somewhere like California, where they're short of rain.
Hmm.
In the same pot as the avocados, I have two pear tree seedlings that haven't died because the avocados are taking moisture out of the soil and
hmm
preventing it from getting too wet for the pears. But at the same time, they're warning me when the soil starts to get too dry. So I
hmm
can water those pear trees at just the right moments. If
Yeah.
I can remember which way to turn, oh, for goodness sake, turn this thing. Oh, I have the wrong tab open. I'm looking at the stream and trying to focus a camera. Obviously, there's a 20-second delay. That's not going to work. Sorry, side chat, but we are going to have to do this with the. Wait, I'm screwing up the wrong direction. That's how you go to macro. That's how you focus on a distant pear tree. Right.
Oh, geez. Hey, Kat, you're going to text your hubby and see if he's awake? Why don't you just go up there and kick him in the booty?
I can think of nicer ways to see whether a guy's awake.
Oh, Dr. Nimrod, you've got blighted potato internet. You need to get on the crafty plan. So who all's here? We got Kat, we got Dr. Nimrod. Of course, we got you on the stream with me. Peter Noddle's here. Hey, Peter. Hi, good to see you, my friend. Clive, we missed you last week, man. My sister was on. She says hi, by the way. But yeah, we missed seeing you last week. You too, Nimrod. You too. Let's see. Who else? I get Jens is here. Hello, Jens. Good to see you. And of course, we've got well, that's it. Just a small bunch of us. Well, that's okay. Demon Orb, hello, sir. Good to see you. Uh, well, okay. Well, that's it for now. We'll see who else shows up later. So, you've still got that reaction happening on your skin, and now you got to wait until November to get it looked at.
Oh, sorry, not the skin reaction. The skin reaction has pretty much gone down. The swelling is pretty much minimal. I'm
Okay.
fully mobile. I even managed to zip my boots halfway up.
Hmm.
This was a different issue. This is from
Oh.
long before that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But this came up when we were in the middle of one of our many waves of the consequences of people failing to take basic hygiene precautions.
Mm.
So obviously, the NHS has been underfunded and understaffed for years because the Tories are determined to take away all NHS funding. They give them like a 0.1% pay rise every year in the hope that eventually the NHS will be so understaffed and underfunded they can sell it to an American private healthcare company and force us all to sell our homes to rich people to get the money to pay for healthcare rather than enjoying the benefits of the NHS.
That's about what's going to happen if the Americans get a hold of it.
And then we had this whole highly infectious disease being spread very rapidly through the population because people are too stupid to protect themselves and each other. And half of the NHS staff were off sick and the other half were working themselves to death trying to take care of the unlucky and the downright idiotic.
Yeah, as always.
It took quite a while to get the appointment. And then the appointment has been postponed for another 2 months.
Oh, man. Well, I hope they get on top of it quicker than that. So, anywho, at least it's good to hear that you're at least doing well. So,
yep, day of the appointment was a real waste of an opportunity, actually, because it rained during the night and it was a clear, sunny day. It was beautiful, clear views. And of course, I wasted the morning going to the hospital. I could have been up into the moors and enjoying the views.
Gotcha.
The next bit I want to do there is a little awkward because it's almost too far to cycle there and back. So it would almost make more sense to get the train out to the coast and then work from there and then get the train back and cycle back from the station. But there's one train at 7 in the morning and there's one at 11 in the morning. 11's too late. I might as well just cycle out there. And 7 is a bit early.
Yeah, that is a bit early. I mean, you're probably getting up there now. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. Closer to 50 than to 40.
Okay. So you're reaching the crest of that hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now's the time when you really need to be able to depend on the NHS.
For a little while longer.
Yeah. Do they have special coverage for once you pass 60?
I honestly don't know. They probably do things slightly differently, but
yeah, it'd probably be part of a pension. You get a health benefit or something. You should.
I get
because
a special benefit at 60. There's a piece of paper locked away somewhere in a fireproof safe, and if I can remember where it is and find it and remember all the details and fill it in and send it in, I can claim a pension.
Well,
they actually send out the form and say, this is the only form you're ever going to get. If you lose it, you lose your pension. And you have 38 years to wait before you can fill it in and send it. And then you have to be able to remember all the things like enlistment date and leaving date and number and so on. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, guys. And fuck you too.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing, hey? I mean, I know being a veteran, you get extra on your pension.
Yeah.
So,
I think mine works out to, I think 1,000 a year, which,
it's not much, but it's enough to make a difference.
with the way inflation's going, that'll just about pay for fish and chips once a week.
There you go. At least you can count on that.
Yeah, the trick is living long enough to get to the next fish and chips.
Yeah, there you go.
Can
I'm
afford
about
3
the
chips a
same boat.
day.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, mate. Same boat.
Just a big bag of whole grain rice and £1 water from the stream, and I'll boil it on the barbecue using firewood scavenged from the nearby nature reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you get that organic whole wheat rice, the brown rice, the wild rice?
Can get, but don't. I'm not as fond of rice as some people.
Mm.
There are some people like, oh yeah, rice. Oh, taste that whole grain. And I'm like, yep, that's grass.
Well, here it's a staple, just like for you is potatoes, probably.
That's another one. Potatoes. My father absolutely loves new potatoes. You know, the really small ones.
Yeah.
Boiled new potatoes. To me, they taste very, very, very slightly of Deadly Nightshade,
Mm.
and not at all of anything else. And they're just unpleasant. But he's convinced that they are absolutely lovely, and everyone has to love them. And anyone who denies that they love them is lying.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm a person. I need variety. My dad was like that as well. He had to have his meat and potatoes every day. Every day was potatoes. And I hated that.
the even worse one is Brussels sprouts. Once upon a time, there was a problem for our ancestors, and I don't know whether this is early hominin days or
Mhm.
early Homo sapiens days or way back in the. I don't know whether this is Homo sapiens or Homo habilis or like hominin back before we split off from chimpanzees, or all the way back like 90 million years ago,
Wow.
where when we still have a common ancestor with cats and red pandas. But at some point in history, prehistory,
Yeah.
there was a really big problem with, I think it's a fungus or a bacterium, I don't know, but something could get into food and rot it without it being obviously rotten, and it
Mm.
made it poisonous. If you've seen that video of the invisible dinosaur killer, with,
No, I have.
it was actually moderately well done, annoying amount of special effects in it. Basically, somebody found a fossilized lake bed
Mm.
with
Ah,
just
yeah,
a
crafty.
line of dead T-Rexes along it.
Oh, jeez.
And the T-Rex bones had marks of T-Rex teeth in them. But
Well,
T-Rexes don't kill and eat living T-Rexes.
no, they're scavengers.
Yeah, what they worked out has happened is that various bacterial and algal blooms and so on
Mm-hmm.
deoxygenated the water and allowed Clostridium botulinum
Yeah.
to grow in the water. One
Mm-hmm.
T-Rex gets killed by the botulism, you have a dead T-Rex with Clostridium botulinum breeding in the corpse. Along comes another T-Rex, scavenges from the dead T-Rex, gets infected, dies. Along come more
Yeah, and
T-Rexes,
so.
scavenge from. In effect, this microscopic bacterium is acting as an invisible ambush predator that kills and eats T-Rexes and uses their corpses as bait to kill and eat more T-Rexes, which is
Well,
a way I hadn't thought of it before. But
they died of disease just like we do. You know, that's part of being a biological creature. But Crafty's in the chat. Hi, Crafty. Great to see you, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. She says you better be careful what you say about potatoes.
Clive, no, the T-Rexes weren't killed off by Brussels sprouts. I mean, I could believe it. And gee, can you imagine the aftermath of something the size of Diplodocus, or Diplodocus if you're from Texas, eating a meal consisting entirely of Brussels sprouts?
Well,
can you imagine being downwind of that thing an hour later?
Oh God, no!
That'd
No,
take out a T-Rex.
No. It's kind of like eating on a steady diet of broccoli for a week.
But there was another problem which wasn't the same. It wasn't botulism, but it was bad enough. That it was bad enough that it adversely affected.
I just want to quickly say thanks for stopping by, Crafty. Have fun with your sister's birthday, and look forward to seeing you pop in again. Okay, take care of yourself, sweetie. We miss you. Bye. Go ahead, Sable.
Yeah, this poison was common enough and serious enough that it adversely affected reproductive chances of anything that made the mistake of eating food contaminated with it. And anything that could actually avoid this problem had better reproductive success, to the extent that the weird lucky mutation that linked the taste sensor that detects this poison to the vomit reflex became established throughout the population. In whatever generation had some of each, the ones that couldn't taste it and didn't spit it out eventually had no great-great-great-grandchildren, and the ones who could taste this and did reflexively spit out the contaminated food and vomit out whatever they'd eaten before it, some of which might be contaminated as well, had all of the great-great-great-grandchildren. So now all of humanity has a set of genes which encode a system that detects this poison and links it to the vomit reflex.
Yeah.
There is a chemical in Brussels sprouts which is completely harmless, but it binds to the same taste receptor. Now, this is, from an evolutionary point of view, this is a great defense for Brussels sprouts because no human is ever going to eat them, because anyone who does eat them vomits. They literally taste like poison. But the poison has gone away, so mutated forms of the sensor that no longer work have become established in the population, and 1/4 of the population can't taste that poison. To 1/4 of the population, Brussels sprouts are just a vegetable. To 3/4 of us, they literally taste like poison and they make you vomit. Come Christmas dinner, someone who can't taste that poison puts Brussels sprouts on your plate, and you taste one, and it tastes like poison and makes you want to vomit. And what should a child do if they have just put something in their mouth and it tastes absolutely foul and it makes them vomit? If that was bleach or whiskey or ibuprofen or anything bad, tell an adult, I just put this in my mouth, it tasted really bad and it made me sick. It's the correct thing to do.
It's what your body
Brussels sprout at Christmas dinner, what do you get? Don't be stupid. They're lovely. Get it eaten. I call the NSPCC and tell them what you just did.
Hey, Chris Durham. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep an eye on people dropping in. But I have the same kind of reaction to parsnips. Can't stand them. Parsnips and turnips. Can't stand them.
Parsnips are carcinogenic if they are not cooked or overcooked. They're only safe to eat if they are properly cooked.
Yeah.
And people insist on feeding them to kids because it's traditional.
Yeah. My mom used to make me eat turnips. I hate turnips. Oh, God, I hate them.
Aren't turnips kind of like just a really big potato?
Almost, but they're a lot harder. And they leave a more bitter aftertaste. And I just don't like turnips. I just don't. They're one of those root vegetables that I just can't. I mean, I don't mind potatoes, but I just can't have them all the time. According to Kat, the only thing he doesn't eat are snow peas and bean sprouts. Bean sprouts are great, man. They're awesome.
And 2 AHD cat is apparently from that place in the Discworld novels where they eat anything they can put in a bucket and make wine out of anything that can't climb back out.
Yeah, just stick your head in the trough and go to town.
But we have Apfelstrudel, we have Vietnamese green papaya salad and banana flower salad. We have pad thai. We have stuffed bell peppers. We have pho.
My lady occasionally makes mango salad, which is basically finely julienned, not quite ripe mango, but she mixes it with the chili powder or chili. It's really got a bite. It's wonderful.
It is, yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing that you remember from Vietnam?
The young lady running the cafe on the waterfront in Hoi An.
What's that?
The first time in Vietnam, I wandered down the riverbank and there was 1991, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. Between 94 and 95 was an alleyway. And someone had built a wall across the mouth of the alleyway with a door in it, attached an awning to the wall of 94, set up a little wall in the alley with a barbecue, propane bottle barbecue, and 2 picnic tables, and was running a cafe in the alley and numbered it 94B. And
there's a lot of that here.
Absolutely lovely and absolutely gorgeous. And
there's
taught
so
herself
much
English, taught herself to cook by watching the cook while she was working in a kitchen, then taught herself English by serving the guests.
Yeah.
And, well, she certainly spoke better English than I speak Vietnamese or Portuguese or Italian.
Oh, Dr. Pepper song. You remember that, Chris? Holy mackerel. I haven't heard that since I was a kid. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, you're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Dr. Pepper, drink Dr. Pepper.
I think that might be before my time.
Huh? That was a jingle for the Dr. Pepper commercials we had when I was younger.
Speaking of jingles, was that music playing during the 5-minute countdown?
Yeah.
Was that turn down the lights, turn down the bed, turn down these voices inside my head?
It could have a similarity to it, but no, that's not what it was.
The tune was in there.
Yeah, it was a modern jazz track that I downloaded from Epidemic Sound because I have an account with them. So I use all my music comes from Epidemic Sound, and they got some really great tracks. But it could. I didn't really listen to it, so I can't really recall the connection between the two songs. But you could be right. Yeah.
Lyrics 2 lines of lyrics in the chat room. See whether they fit. Next time you hear it, listen to those. Listen to it and check it against those lyrics and see whether they fit.
Okay, there you go, chat.
Of course.
Next time you hear my standby, run it up against those lyrics. See if it fits. I'd be interested to know now.
Bonnie Raitt, apparently. I didn't know it was Bonnie Raitt. I've got that on an album by somebody else. But, yeah. Apparently that's the song.
Could be. I don't think it was, though. I can't even remember what the name of the song was that I used. I'd have to go back to Hit Film, check the audio track, and see which song it was. I have so much music. Always looking for stuff. What's that link there, Sable?
That's a version of the song that I think
Awesome.
inspired
Okay.
your opening.
Cool. There you go, folks. Check it out. I'd be interested to see if it kind of fits the standby music that I use. That would be really, really interesting. Bonnie Raitt, I haven't heard from her in years, man. Is she still around? She's still recording?
I don't know. That's his 1991. Oh well, yeah, that was over 30 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's going back some. That's going back some. Wow. What? Cat? What? Cat says my husband and I have a broken down truck in their yard and they packed it to the ceiling with non-perishable food. I don't mean to be uh, insulting or anything, Kat, but can you say redneck?
I'm just wondering how hot it gets inside a broken down truck where you are.
Yeah, that must be.
There's food that's still good 10 years later in a cupboard in an air conditioned kitchen, and there's food that's still good 10 years later in a truck in the sunlight in Alabama.
But Sable, you're one I know can appreciate this story. I remember back in the 80s when I was in the military, we were still getting field rations or sea rations packed in 1952.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
And they were still good.
Yeah,
they were still good. Some of them were a bit questionable. You got the tin that got ham and eggs. You didn't want to open that. I know that just stays in the box. But the really fun ones were the ones that lost their label.
Yeah. You've got a tin
Have
of
you ever
something.
had that when you were in the military? Unknown rations?
We had two kinds of rations. There's in the refresher training before Iraq. We had spring of 2002, because that was when we started getting ready to go there, and then we just hung around waiting to see whether we were going there that year or later, and eventually somebody else took over from us on standby before it actually happened. Anyone who thinks that the decision was made in 2003, no. By Easter of 2002, the decision was already made. The only question was when. But on that one, we got 10-man rat packs, which have little brass tins in them.
I'm just going to get up for a minute because it's raining, so I've got to close my window.
I think those tins are labeled, but it's in very small text. It's one of those dot matrix printers that they used to use in the 1970s in most places and started using in the year 2000 in the army. And you can probably work out what's in each tin if you examine it very carefully in good lighting. And you're supposed to, one person is supposed to open enough tins and cook enough food for how many people are there. We were in a 4-person detachment, and we're getting these big boxes, which are one day's food for 10 people. Deal with this. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, right. I remember that. We had a 5-man detachment, and we got enough rations. I think we got 10 boxes to last us a week. And those were the old sea rations. But it wasn't until 1985, I'd been in the service already 2 years, that they started bringing in the MREs. You just had to throw them in boiling water and then open them up and eat them.
That was what we got in basic, was the individual pack.
Yeah.
Which is a remarkably large cardboard box for to be trying to tuck into your gear until it's time until you have an opportunity to open it and eat some of the stuff.
Yeah.
But it contains, if I can remember.
Yeah. We were all thankful for those new MREs when they came out, because they were delicious most of the time, except for the ham and eggs, the breakfast ones. They were questionable at times. But what we really missed from the sea rations was every time you open up the sea ration box, you got your 3 tins, you got your chocolate, and you always got a small pack of cigarettes. You didn't get that with the MREs. You just got a satchel with 3 pouches for the day.
Our MREs were a packet of chocolate powder. Well, hot chocolate drink powder, not actual chocolate powder. 2 soup powder sachets. 1 packet of boiled sweets. 1 slab of some brown sugar that was masquerading as chocolate.
Yeah.
A packet of 10 tissues. A packet of biscuits brown. A packet of biscuits fruit. A breakfast of some sort, which was it was like beans and sausages or beans and mini burgers or something like that.
Yeah.
A main meal of some sort, which was your beef stew or your chicken, whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those were both, and a pudding, which was some kind of starch balls in some kind of sugary syrup. And those 3 were all in a foil pack, which had an extra bit on top. So it's the usual square sealed all the way around of foil, but then there's an extra like 5 centimeters of foil on one end. And the idea was you would pick it up by that extra bit, drop it into a mess tin full of water, put your bigger mess tin over the top to hold the heat in, reduce your evaporative heat loss, boil it for a few minutes to get it hot. It was already fit to eat, allegedly.
Yeah.
Use the water to make... we got packet of coffee, 2 tea bags, sugar, and this coffee whitener stuff that I don't think can even legally be called creamer, let alone milk powder.
Yeah.
Use it to make your hot drink or your soup or whatever. And you would take the packet out by that foil bit, flip it over, fold the foil bit, and it acts as a spring in your hand. And as long as you keep it balanced on that bent bit of foil, the packet full of boiling hot food doesn't burn your hand. While you tear open the other end and eat that.
Yeah.
And it was probably terrible, but when you've been awake, when you've had like a total of 3 hours sleep since 4 o'clock Monday morning, and it's Wednesday night, and you have been running and crawling and hiding and hiking the whole time, except for those horrible times when you were just waiting.
Yeah, you'll eat just about anything at that point.
Yeah. Sheep goes past, you just break its neck and eat its liver raw because it's food.
I used to like the ones where occasionally we'd get these little satchels of powdered Uncle Ben's apple cinnamon oatmeal. You just add water to it.
Oh yeah, we got oatmeal as well in those one day. One day, one man. I think it was meant for the Marines when they're running around the Arctic or something. If they could supply one of those per person per day when you were just on a signals deck, you could actually feed a whole family of the locals as well as yourself and make yourself really popular.
They were really good.
Standard operating procedure, but it would have been a good idea.
Yeah, we usually only got those on winter warfare exercise.
Right, yeah.
Because
the one problem with doing that somewhere like Bosnia or Iraq would have been that the only one of all of those, we had different menus, A through F, and the boxes were marked. And of all of these, only menu F was vegetarian. All of the others contained pork somewhere. So if you were in Bosnia or Iraq, you would be like, "God's like, somebody get me a box F so I can feed this local family. You can have my box B. I don't care, I'll split and trade. And I'll take your chocolate. You can have my soup. I never make the stuff anyway. You don't want it? Fine. It can go to this guy.
Yeah, it can go anywhere it wants, just not to me. MRE pizza is nasty. You got that right.
I was trying to ignore the very suggestion that such a thing could even exist.
It does. I have had it. It is freaking awful. Oh, God. Whoever thought it was a good idea to put pizza in a boiling heat bag?
No. Just no.
So what kind of biscuits did you get? We used to get a can of just saltines, Nabisco salted crackers. We used to get sometimes Ritz crackers, and we used to get in the newer ones. We used to get little satchels of 4 Oreo cookies. Sometimes we got Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies. It was rare you got those.
We had 3 kinds. We had shortbread. That's another thing I'd forgotten was in there. 5 shortbread discs.
Mm-hmm.
Shortbread is you make bread, but instead of using a pound of flour, an ounce of butter, and 2 tablespoons of sugar, you use a pound of flour, a pound of sugar, and a pound of butter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I like shortbread, to be honest. I'll admit it. I like shortbread.
oh, that's another one my father loves. To me, it's sugar.
It is. It's largely sugar. But when you're out in the field busting your hump over the hill and dale, you need that sugar boost.
And then we got biscuits brown, which were very plain biscuits, and biscuits fruit, which were kind of like Garibaldi. Kind of. But imagine somebody doing Garibaldi on a lowest bidder basis. It's kind of looking a little bit like Garibaldi, and it costs a tenth of what actual Garibaldi does. We'll take it. It's only going to the junior ranks. They won't know the difference kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Those ones came in packets that were exactly the right size to drop into your spare magazine pouch. Because, of course, they only got us 3 magazines each. They didn't issue us with the full 7 or 13 if you had a double pouch each side. So you got this spare packet, this spare pouch. It's the perfect spot to drop them in. And the shortbread can go into your breast pocket because nothing else is in there.
Yeah.
And then come the end of the exercise, it's like, right, everybody pouch is empty so we can make sure you're not smuggling rounds off the area. Empty all my pouches. This is going to take a while. They are stuffed full of food. But that's an experienced hiker thing. That of course you've got your main bag, your 2 side pouches, which can be unzipped from it and clipped onto a spare harness to wear as a smaller pack. And you've got your webbing, which lives on you. So it's kind of clothes, webbing, rifle, and then your entire pack or just the side pouches of it. And we were supposed to have certain amounts of stuff with us, but it makes sense to prioritize what goes where on the basis of which bit are you going to ditch?
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about this stuff. It can go in the main pack. If I have to ditch it and run, I want this, this, and this with me. Spare pair of socks, rifle cleaning kit, ammunition, chocolate.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can finagle when you're crafty enough, When we were in the military, when we were still getting the tinned rations, a couple of us, we would take the tins after we're done with them, wash them out, and we'd use the duct tape, the green duct tape, and strap it to our webbing, and we'd use that to hold our cigarettes and biscuits and things like that. And we'd have them all over our webbing.
Sewing little extra bits on.
Yeah. Just take the lids off. We fashion our own cover with the duct tape, just to kind of keep them safe from rain and stuff like that. But it worked like a damn. You could
have 2 of the little tins top to top with tape around the middle.
Yeah.
That would really protect something well.
Yeah. If you could find one can slightly larger so it slides over the other, that would be perfect. But it wasn't very often we managed to do that. But, still, I mean, you want to carry your goodies with you on the march so you can munch on them while you're marching. That's a great way to do it, man. Because everything else you're carrying is full.
I swiped the bandolier.
Almost.
You could get your ammunition in a 20-round cardboard box. It works. Or in a really big 500-round ammo tin for everyone to share.
Yeah.
Or you could get this this kind of plastic cloth bandolier, which is 6 pouches and a long strap, so you can put it across your shoulders or roll it up and stuff into a pocket or whatever you want to do with it. And each pouch contains 3 10-round stripper clips of ammo. So you can, assuming you actually get a speed loader, I was able to borrow someone's speed loader once. I actually learned how to speed load without the speed loader, just holding the magazine and the clip with one hand and pushing the rounds down with the other. It can be done if you have the right grip strength. And the idea was you could, one magazine, open a pouch and go clip out, into the speed loader, shove the rounds down, discard the stripper, next clip out, same deal, next clip out, same deal. That magazine is full. put your speed loader onto the next mag, and your bandolier would refill 6 magazines.
Mhm.
Well, I swiped those bandoliers. My wash kit was a bandolier. I've got a bandolier full of like sewing gear sitting here now. I've got these. I had these green things everywhere. I've got rid of most of them, but you've got 6 little pouches on a belt that you can wear around your waist or diagonally across your shoulder or roll up and stuff into your rucksack. Why would I not want to keep this?
It's funny with things you can find uses for in the military.
Yeah,
What
we can find uses for just about everything except the gear we were actually issued.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Jen says, I always traded to get Schmaltzfleisch, the best thing on bread. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is.
He says what it is a couple of lines farther down.
Oh, shortbread. Okay.
No, Schmaltzfleisch is minced pork cooked until the fat separates.
Ah, okay. Got it. Basically, okay. That sounds actually pretty good. You know, one of my favorite things on bread is liverwurst. I love that stuff.
What are you? Leberwurst.
Yeah, leverwurst. Yeah, I know, but I love this
The
stuff.
pronunciation is the worst.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been getting used to speaking the Canadian. But yeah, I love that stuff, man. It's really, really good. But it's hard to find a good one. Often, if you get a poor quality leverwurst, it's grainy and gritty. You know, it's got to be the smooth, nicely spreadable. Oh, what's this? Hey, Carl, how you doing, mate? Good to see you, my friend. You're never late. Had 14 and a half hours of power cut. Holy mackerel. Something went wrong and our power did not come back until the right time. Got power now, though. Well, good. Glad to see you, buddy. Glad to see you. The same thing happened to me a couple of weeks back when I had to cancel the stream. Power cut came just like right before I was about ready to get going. I was sitting in the dark until like 9 o'clock at night.
Leberwurst in a jar isn't really Leberwurst, though, is it? It's just
no. It's got to be wrapped in that kind of plastic or it's in a tube, you know, with little metal crimps at the end.
Oh yeah, it's a sausage.
Yeah, like a sausage, but the casing is actually like a plastic label, you know, and you just squeeze it out. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. What's this? Brunswiger is VDA bomb. Okay, you're gonna have to fill me in on that, cat. Typo.
If it comes in a jar, it's just pate.
Yeah, that's pate. That's something a little bit different. They make great pate here in Vietnam, right? Remember, every time you get the baguettes on the street, they always put pate on the bottom, and then they load it up with meat and veggies.
I don't think I had all of those.
Don't you?
I remember.
Banh mi thit. They call it banh mi thit. It's like Vietnamese cold cuts, and they always spread pate on the bottom. I love those things, man. They're addictive.
I remember the rice balls. Way up in the market.
The deep fried ones with the sesame seeds on the outside.
There's a step. There's steps down to the market, and there's a little old lady sitting in the little sort of landing bit on the side of the steps, with a little camping stove and a pan of oil, and a big bag of rice and another pan of water, cooking the rice and forming it into balls, mashing up bananas and shoving them in the middle to form these fist-sized balls, dipping them in honey and then in the sesame seeds and then deep frying them.
Yeah, I love those things. They make them like
2 pence each
Yeah.
or something. So I grabbed all she
You-
had. I'm like, I'll have 'em. These are good.
Here in Saigon, they do it with that bean paste in the middle. It's a sweet bean paste. Oh, I love those things. They're so good. Oh, man, oh, man.
I think that has become my thing somehow quietly. Is trying the food everywhere. Like,
Well, if you're traveling, if you're not willing to try the local food, you're not traveling. You're just being a
Yeah.
dumbass tourist. You know?
Yeah. Second time in Vietnam, very first night, the tour company is sort of a meet in this hotel at 4 p.m, sort paperwork, go for dinner together.
Yeah.
Everybody sat around this table going, "Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, I don't know what that is." Of course, you don't know what it is. You've just traveled halfway around the world. Find out.
That's right.
Look at the price.
It's all going to
Like,
be new for you.
Find out.
Yeah.
So I should have bought everything. I only got one salad. I ended up eating about half of it because I was sharing bits of it with everybody else first. I should have got 3 and shared a bit of each one with everybody. But
Yeah.
even when we got to Hanoi the second time, it's like breakfast options for breakfast. If you go 3 miles up this road and turn right, and 2 miles long and turn left, on the right side there's a mall, and they have a KFC in there, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Woo, Western food!" And I'm there on my
Yeah.
own looking at the guide, saying, "Okay, so where are you actually?"
I can get that at home. Yeah, I know. But it's here in Vietnam, like KFC is like fine dining.
Well, the first time I was there, it was
Yeah.
still Gannan, Kentucky, before they actually had an official KFC.
But I
Here
will
I
say,
went 20
I will
paces down
say-
the road and up an alleyway, and there's the little tiny plastic kindergarten-sized tables and chairs, and they're doing
Yeah.
pho.
yeah, pho.
I can't pronounce that one. It looks like phobo in English, but it's not. It's pho, something like that. And he taught me how to eat it and flavor it up with a little bowl of chili and everything.
Yeah,
I thought, I am eating far better than the people who are paying a fortune for KFC.
exactly. But there's a big difference between pho in Hanoi and pho here in Ho Chi Minh.
Oh yeah,
And the
yours
one
is
in Hanoi is much better because it's much more flavorful. It's much more savory, and it's got something about the chili that you use with it. Whereas here in Ho Chi Minh City, you tend to find most of them add sugar to it, and that I don't like.
we had in Hanoi. It was a fairly mild flavored broth, but it was very much noodles and vegetables and strips of beef in this bowl of broth. And there was a bowl of lime wedges, a bowl of sugar, and a bowl of chili jam. They have really good chili jam.
Were the noodles flat and broad?
Yeah, they were tagliatelle, but rice.
Yeah. It's probably mi wang. Mi wang, and you can get it with pork, chicken, or beef.
Hey, I'm
It's
not
kinda
going to ask for
very
mi
light.
wang in a supermarket in Britain. I'm not.
No, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that in Britain. You got to be here to get that. But yeah, that's locally here. It's called mi wang, and it's delicious. But just like you said, the broth is not overpowering. It's a light, mostly chicken stock broth, and sometimes they'll even sprinkle peanuts into it, and then you add what you like. You flavor it the way you like to eat it. Fresh basil or parsley or dill. Sometimes they offer chili, fish sauce. Or that really, really pungent purple shrimp paste. Oh my God, that stuff stinks to hell.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of surströmming, isn't it? That's go outside,
God.
open it
Oh,
outside.
Oh God, that stuff smells. And you can smell it down the street a mile away before you even get to the place. Oh God, that stuff is horrid. And do you remember the fruit durian?
I have not actually had durian fruit. I've seen like triple wrapped durian fruit in an airport once, and thought if they put that much cling film on it, maybe I shouldn't bother.
Most airlines won't even let you take it on.
Yeah,
most airlines will just tell you to leave it behind. We're not sticking that on our airplanes. It'll be stinking for a week.
There's Époisse de Bourgogne as well. It's a French cheese.
Yeah.
It's a fairly mild flavor, but it's a brine-washed, edible rind, soft cheese made with unpasteurized milk. It is illegal to transport it by bus in France. There is a law. You are not allowed to bring that stuff onto the bus. It stinks.
Yeah, I can well imagine. There's quite a few things like that here in Vietnam. You can't carry it with you because nobody will let you take it on the bus, the train, or whatever. It just stinks too bad. You know. We got Popeyes here too, Al, and it's not quite as popular as KFC, but yeah, we got Popeyes here, and it is quite popular. The Vietnamese love their fried chicken, any way they can get it. Yeah, you're right, Chris. It is something that would probably kill Beavis and Butthead.
Such a shame it didn't.
Oh man, I couldn't agree with you more. Let's ship them some. Make sure they're gone. Oh God, that's horrible. Anyway.
Cambodia, local food. I remember the Cambodian local food for 3 reasons, really. One was our very first night in Siem Reap. 12 of us went and took over a restaurant, rearranged the furniture, the works. You know, this entire upper floor of this restaurant is now ours. And we got a bowl of rice, a bottle of water, a bottle of beer each, and everything else on the menu down the center of the table. And passed bowls back and forth and tried everything and emptied one of the plates and got a refill, another of these.
Yeah.
And just went through everything they could cook. And we had the most wonderful meal and added 20% for a tip, rounded up to a multiple of 12. It's one of these big, huge green things and 2 of the long, thin red ones each. Because at the time, it was one of these places where the money is, 20 million and 10 million and 5 million. And they don't bother with anything that isn't at least 6 figures.
Yeah.
And we just kind of piled this money. It's the first night. We've had a wonderful meal. Let's not worry about it too much. Nobody cares who had what. Just, great service, great food. 20% tip is pretty much normal for that. And the prices aren't that high anyway. We're not going to worry about it. We just rounded it up to something that was easy to do. So obviously this waiter got a tip that probably paid for his life for a month. And we're walking away from this place down this alley, Pub Street Alley. Siem Reap has Pub Street, which is just all bars and nightclubs, and Pub Street Alley below it, south of it, I think, which is just all restaurants. We went along there on our way back towards the hotel. Hang on. I've miscalculated. No way have I worked this out right. You work out. How much did we just really just pay? I already worked it out, and there's no way my answer's right. Somebody else work it out. And eventually people got around to having the courage to say what they'd worked out, and we all agreed. We had paid $2.30 per person.
Yeah.
Feast.
Exactly.
Next night,
let's face it.
We ate in the alleyway and somebody wanted coffee. And the place we ate in the alleyway in between 2 restaurants, one on each side, and we ordered from both menus. And they didn't mind. And then at the end, someone wanted coffee and nobody there did coffee. So one of their waiters went down the street to find a place that does do coffee and bring their waiter back to take our coffee order.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happens all the time here. Absolutely. But think about it. Back home where you are right now, what would you pay, or how often per year could you afford to have an absolutely delicious, fresh from the sea lobster?
I don't think I've ever had one here.
Yeah, and if you could
find you can't get away from the bloody things. There are people following around trying to sell you lobsters.
Yeah, you'd probably have to get another mortgage to pay for it.
Yeah.
Here you can get one for the cost of a burger. It's amazing. The seafood here is so plentiful. It's every kind of seafood you can imagine. Cheap as chips.
The other 2 reasons I remember the Cambodian food. One was my first Cambodian curry, amok, which is really, really flavorful, but it's not hot. It is cooked hot. It is not vindaloo hot. It's just warm in the spiciness sense. But it's so flavorful. It was incredible.
I know.
Why have I been eating European crap all my life when this place is the whole time?
Yeah.
And
it's what you would call
about washing the bowl, because it doesn't come in a bowl. It comes in the entire coconut. They just knock a hole in the top of the coconut and use it as the bowl.
Fill
so
it. Absolutely.
Absolutely fill it.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
But it's a kind of curry that sticks to your ribs. It stays with you for hours.
Yeah, I could live on that stuff.
Mm.
The third reason I remember Cambodian food was that I ate in the wrong place in Phnom Penh, and I got food poisoning so bad I pulled muscles from throwing up.
That happened to me my first couple of months here in Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam never got me that way. I got a very slight case of it at the start of the second trip. I did 24 hours of no food, drank several cups of green tea, but didn't eat anything.
I had some of my students take me out for dinner after classes my first month here. And they took me to a place where we had eel cooked in coconut milk. It was delicious, but it wasn't necessarily the cleanest friggin' kitchen, I guess, because I was retching my guts out an hour and a half later. Anyways, I got to put up the name that place for this week. So
the background you have right now, I think it's Brighton.
The background I have it right now is from the same place. So let me put that up, and whoever can figure out where this place is, you could be with me on the show next week if you wish. Sorry, I'm going to be covering up your camera, but you don't need to turn it off. Just leave it up there. So here we go, folks. Name the place.
I don't think it's Blackpool.
No. I'll give you a hint. It's only about 60 kilometers from Ho Chi Minh City. It's not very far. Perfect day trip if you're visiting Saigon. Or you can stay a couple of days if you want to stay at one of the resorts. So anyways, back to what we were talking about.
Food from around the world, making everybody in the side chat hungry. Thai food is obviously famously gorgeous. I've been to cooking schools. I started going to cooking schools. I never actually make the stuff after I come back, but it's great to do it once and cook it properly and see what it's really meant to be like, and play with it. And we did Thai fish cakes, and they put so much fish sauce and oyster sauce into those things, and it's the equivalent of salt. And I actually left most of it out of mine. I didn't bother with most of it. I just used a tiny bit, and we shared what we'd made around, and people said mine were the best they'd ever tasted. So I think maybe the locals are overdoing the salt. And then Nepal. What the porters eat in Nepal, what you eat in Nepal if you're on a gap year and you are flat broke, is dal bhat, which is
I've heard of that.
Lentils and rice. They have lentils, they have rice. You get a lot of each, and it's really cheap. And this is what they feed the porters. And basically, you just get stuff down as much cooked lentils and boiled rice as you can, and live on it for a week. There is another one, and I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, but it's just basic fuel, you know.
Yeah,
it's the kind of thing you feed rats if you want to test exactly how much of a vitamin they need, because you know there isn't a vitamin in it. There's another thing they serve, and I can't remember what it's called, but it comes as a platter, and we ate it, and we should have been eating it all the time. Yeah. Just a few of us went out, borrowed 2 scooters and a motorbike, went for a ride around the lake and up into the mountains and back, and then we ate in this restaurant at the side of the lake in Pokhara. And it's another one of these places that I always seem to find where it's this little tiny corner house with just 3 tables, and a little old lady about waist high to me comes out and feeds people. Yeah. But they're always the best places, you know. And she came out. She comes out with these beautiful.
Sorry. Yeah, Kat. It's not Mars. Chris says Wilfred. That's the name I'm giving it. Wilfred. Somewhere on the other side of the ice wall. Sorry, go ahead.
These, like engraved or stamped something, filigree edged brass platters with your bowl of rice and your bowl of this lentil paste. That stuff it's a pretty basic food, but it'll fill you fast. Wow. And all of these little stewed vegetable pots and this little bowl of curry sauce and all kinds of stuff, and warned us that this one was really spicy, and we got more. They always come back with a second helping. They insist on giving a second helping.
There's a place in Hanoi where they have this special way of cooking the rice. They cook it in these small clay pots, and when you order it, they toss the hot pot to your waiter, and he flips it over, smashes the clay pot, and then just drops the pre-shaped rice on your plate. It's really, really cool.
That sounds like an invitation to get splinters of clay in your mouth.
No, actually, they're quite adept at how they do it. And I guess the clay just comes off in large chunks. It's not like they smash it into smithereens. They just whack it, and it breaks into these large pieces that just fall away from the lid, and the rice is sitting there on the lid afterwards. And then they just turn the lid over and drop it on your plate.
Okay.
But there's something that they put in the rice that makes it really tasty. And I think they cook it with coconut milk or something like that. It's really, really good. But it's all the show, you know?
West from Nepal. Iran will be the next one west, where they have ice cream with noodles in it. Fabuda.
I've heard.
You'd have to look to believe it. Also, a chicken rice dish, which is this whole like rice cake. You know, it's a foot across and 3 inches thick. Sorry, it's 30 centimeters across and 7 centimeters deep. This rice cake with raisins and saffron and chicken pieces in it and all sorts. And then you get a wedge of cake as your meal. And that was really, really good. But Iran was sugar. Everything was sugary. You come down for breakfast and you just want a bowl of muesli. And your options are like, there's really sugary biscuits coated in sugar. Some high sugar cake sprinkled with sugar. There's a plate of dates covered in icing sugar. Like, have you got anything that isn't going to dissolve my teeth before I can get back to my room and clean them?
Yeah, I mean, dates are just concentrated sugar.
Yeah, it was good, but it was too much sugar.
Hey, Tusk is in the house. Hey, Tusk, how you doing? Tusk says, Skunthorpe.
Probably not Scunthorpe. The water's the wrong colour for the River Trent. There was a guy up in Abiani, second to last place we stopped, way up in the west in the hills. There's a place where you're not allowed to have your camera out because nuclear project, and we had to go past it to get up this valley. And it's like there is this beautiful valley full of like trees and life and green stuff. And you're not allowed your camera out, and then you go up towards this town. Bastard. But the town is made of red rock. You know, you occasionally find a place where the stones are red. Not blood red, but kind of a purplish red, fairly dark colour. The whole town is made out of this reddish rock, which was a bit of a change from desert sand and desert sand and desert sand.
Yeah, true enough.
And I'll show you the photograph. The hotel reception is this beautiful, like luxurious collection of low seats and silk cushions and little tables. And the reception desk has this line of huge jars on it because the receptionist blends his own tea. And you can sit there on these little low seats with these sort of giant sausages of padding in a silk cover and share these tiny cups of really good tea. I have this picture somewhere. Other memory of Iran would be, God damn, it was hot. You'd step outside and go, oof. Straight
it's
away.
Always hot here. Got my fan going. Absolutely. So it doesn't look like we've got too many. No, it's not Cambodia, Tusk. Not Cambodia. Good try, though. But as I told everybody before, it's about 60 kilometers south of Ho Chi Minh City.
Oh, I know. Is it that place that's on the coast, just south of Ho Chi Minh City?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, if you could just
East
tell
side
me
of the
the name
Mekong
of
Delta.
it. Yeah, Margate. No, not Margate.
I've been to Margate.
South End Pier. If you might like it, Jens. I mean, it's a nice place. It's a perfect little day trip. Um, and there's some cool things you can do there. But really, it's just to see the wildlife, the featured wildlife. That's the whole thing. But, I'll leave it up for another couple of minutes, and then I'll tell you all where it is, and do my little video montage as I do every week. But yeah, it's a nice little day trip. It's not somewhere you need to travel to directly or specifically. You can make it part of your stay if you're visiting Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon. If you just want to get out of the city for a day, this is a perfect place.
Been to Margate. Was on the beach at Margate, and the young lady next to me suddenly went, "Oh, hey, boots!" and grabbed my hand and dragged me across the busy road to a shop because she noticed they were selling boots.
Man,
Other strong memories of food. Syria
yeah.
doesn't but
There's a
Morocco.
small there's a small village neighboring the city of Dalat here in the southern end of Vietnam, where they have tea plantations, and they actually have a shop where you can actually buy fresh tea, either whole leaf or in individual satchels, and bring it home with you. I can't remember the brand, the types they make, but I know
Taylors of
Jasmine.
Harrogate.
Huh?
That sounds like Taylors of Harrogate.
Mm,
Actually,
I don't know.
it's probably the best employer in Yorkshire, and they have a staff discount and an on-site shop for all their products. So anyone who's
Yeah,
working there can get you whatever tea you want.
yeah.
In some
Well,
quantity.
basically, this little shop gets its tea directly from the fields. It's surrounded by the tea fields, and they bring it in direct from the fields. They dry it, shred it, and then you can either get it in a jar as loose tea, or you can get it in satchels like tea bags. And there's like five different varieties of tea that they produce there. I know where it is. Chernobyl. No, it's not Chernobyl. I've shared a picture of it. What's called? Oh, okay. Let me just grab that. Ah, very nice. Very nice.
Silly tusk. You can tell it's not Chernobyl. It's not full of dead Russians.
Just give me a second here. I'm gonna get that on my desktop, and then I'll pop it up and show it all to you. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. There
What has
we
4,000
go.
likes and glows in the dark?
What's that?
3,000 Russian veterans.
All right, here's the picture that Sable just sent me. Very nice. It looks really Arabian.
Oh, don't say that. They're not Arabs. Arabia is the other side of that line of mountains. They're
Yeah,
Persian.
Persians, yeah. But it has that feel, Very nice. I like that. That's nice. Looks like a very comfortable place to just sit back and chill for the day. Okay, so back to where we were. And does anybody have any final guesses or attempts at guessing where this might be? And Tusk says ghastly. Tansanyat. No, Tansanyat is the airport here in Saigon. Um, so, any last? No. Okay. Sable, do you have any idea where this place might be?
Nope. It's not one I visited.
No idea. Let's see. Chris says that picture Sable sent looks like one of our Find the Goat backgrounds. Hey, that's a good idea. Ha! Thanks, man. As soon as Crafty's back on the scene, we get the Flipside going. I'm going to use that. Good idea. Yeah, is it your bathroom? No, it's not my bathroom. Just jeez. Okay, nobody's going to figure this one out. I guess I made it too tough. So let me just put up the correct answer. There you go. It's called Kenya or Monkey Island, and that's the whole draw. Is the wild monkeys? They're everywhere. There's thousands of them, and they are smart little thieves. They are professional burglars on the side. Anything that's loose or sticking out of your backpack or whatever, it's going to be gone. I mean, monkeys, I've seen them crawl up people's shoulders, just take the hats and gone. And once they've got it, that's it. You'll never see it again. But yeah, it's called Monkey Island, Kenya. It's about 60 kilometers south of Ho Chi Minh City. So, Sable, if you want to get some tea or something, now's a good chance. I got about a 3.5 minute video reel of Kenya for the folks to enjoy, and then we'll come back and wrap things up. So here you go, folks. A little bit of a montage of Kenya, Monkey Island. Enjoy. And there you go, folks. That was Kenya, Monkey Island, right here in Ho Chi Minh City's just south of it. Like I said, if you're visiting here, really great little day trip. So, yeah. So, I guess we got about 10 minutes left. We can start wrapping things up. So, anything else you want to bring up, Sable?
Yeah, I was busy making a cup of tea.
Okay.
Well, have we got time to discuss why Batman is actually the main villain of the whole story out?
We got a smart arse in the comments again. Yeah, Kat, I know. I probably would have, but I don't have a pole handy. No, I just a little bit of funky background music to go with the imagery. So, there you go, Clive. No, they don't. Let's see. Come to Vietnam and get crabs. Oh, Tusk, you kill me. You kill me.
Still less scary looking than the local wildlife and seafood they serve in Portugal. Sorry, Madeira specifically. Madeira's local delicacy is a deep sea fish that's caught in the area called a black scabbard fish. And if you imagine H.R. Geiger and H.P. Lovecraft got together to design like Cthulhu wouldn't keep goldfish, he'd keep these. And they just have these things on the market and you can order them and they have them in restaurants and you can, get them cooked for you, or you buy them fresh and cook them yourself. And they really, really look like they eat xenomorphs.
Oh, Cat, don't you start too. No, thanks. Now that fucking song will play in my head all day. Yeah, and I hope it rings loud and clear for the next month so you know how much it bothers me. Oh, God. So, well, this has been fun. It's been really good talking to you again. Haven't talked to you in a while. Don't forget, though, Sable, when Flipside is back up, you're going to be the first guest on because you won it before we shut down. So you're going to be back on the first Flipside once it's back. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. But other than that, I don't really have much else.
Well, we have enough time left, but more thought into dealing with the American gun balance issue than the politicians over there ever did. What have we got? 30 seconds? That's longer than it takes to say.
Yeah. We got 6 minutes before I'm calling her.
Don't forget to tip your waiter. Try the meal.
No doxing, but have you ever killed somebody, ate the best parts, and then buried the remains deep in the rainforest? No, I haven't. Not yet. Trust me, though. Baby shark me enough, and I might just do it. Oh, God, I just shot myself in the foot for that.
Burying the remains in the rainforest when we have perfectly good coral reefs.
Well, exactly. They'll chew up the body a lot faster than the rainforest will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it never happened to me, but I've heard from a scuba diver who was diving with someone who overindulged in the curry and the lager the night before, got down onto the reef, swimming along, and then suddenly he just took a really deep breath, pulled his demand valve out of his mouth, vomited out everything he'd eaten in the last 24 hours, shoved the DV back in his mouth, and took another breath through it. Just quite impressive that he managed to do that without drowning himself. But of course, he produced a huge cloud of half-digested food. It's just followed about a tenth of a second later by the most phenomenal display of all the life on the entire coral reef just coming out to eat it. So one moment he's feeling queasy, and the next he's like being covered by every kind of fish and crab and prawn and, fish and small shark and everything. Just
man, that's horrible. There are some, I believe, around the Da Nang and Nha Trang area, Clive, but I think only for a very short, brief period of time during the year, where they'll come up close to the shore. Usually the smaller ones, like kind of almost like barracudas, but sharks, like tiny ones.
But
anyways, yeah, that's
creepy.
That's about all we got for today, man.
Like sharks, they'll cruise past and look at you and carry on swimming, or they'll come around for another look and then swim off into the distance, or they'll come to you for a hug. You know, barracuda, they just sit there, like 10 meters away, sideways on, just looking. Yeah. And you look in the other direction, there's another one. You look behind you, there's another one. They're all the same distance away, the same way around. It's like they just paused in the process of circling you, and they just float there and watch.
Yeah.
These guys have got something on their minds, and I don't know what. Where's the nearest ladder?
Exactly. Well, anyways, I think that's going to be it for today there. So thanks for coming out, Sable. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to have you on again. It was good to talk to you. Glad you're doing okay.
And, so who's going to be on next week if nobody guessed it?
Well, nobody won this week, so I haven't got anybody planned for next week. I sent out a message to Sir Little Wolf that he's welcome to come on and make good on his winning the week before last. So anytime he wants to come on and take advantage of that, he's welcome on. But other than that, I really don't have any other guests lined up. It's a very good chance you're probably going to be seeing my sister coming on more frequently. So who knows? Maybe she'll be back on with us again next week. She's a bit busy today, so you'll notice she hasn't been in the chat today because she's just got her hands full with other stuff right now. But yeah.
We can finally answer a question then if you get Sir Little Wolf on. Does he howl with a European or a Canadian dialect?
Well, that's just it. I don't, because Canadians don't have a dialect unless you're from Newfoundland.
The wolves do. The Canadian timber wolf and the European grey wolf are the same species, but the European ones, when they howl, they just go, "Ooh."
Yeah.
Whereas the Canadian ones have an octave step. They'll go, "Ooh."
That's right. Yeah,
that step isn't there in the European. So there's actually a dialect difference between the two continents. I've been wondering which Sir Little Wolf does. Should I try that again, but do a better job so that anyone who has a German Shepherd with them is going to have their own dog howling along, or is that just cruel?
So, Kat says, Stephen Cup, behave yourself till next you come on, or I'm telling the baby Jesus. Go ahead. And Tusk with his usual Chara Andrasta. I could never pronounce that. Cherry Andrasta. There you go. Thanks for coming out, Tusk. Always great to see you, mate. And let's see. Canadian wolves actually say poutine. No, they don't. But they'll turn you into poutine pretty quick. Anyways, that's it, folks. We're done for this week. Say goodnight, Sable.
Good night, Sable.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. Always good to see you. Have a great week, and I'll see you again next week with a new Vietnamese destination to feature and whatever guest I can find. So thanks, folks. Cheers. Bye-bye.